Hello and welcome to a review of the T-34 Shield. I wanted to do a brief review like I usually do of these tanks, but frankly this tank doesn't deserve it. This tank can be obtained in missions mainly, so the first part of the video will be talking about how you can get this tank. When you open up World of Tanks missions, you can see that you have the Battle of Kursk mission here, which is a great mission or a campaign of 50 missions. So far we are on day 4 at the day of recording, and the missions have been incredibly easy. Just playing the day, playing for like an hour, maybe that's even too much, is enough. Like the missions are something like cause damage to 10 vehicles or something like that, or even cause damage to enemy vehicles 10 times. That can be obtained in a single game. You also have the optional secondary missions, which is easier, but you can only do them in historical vehicles, which is like Churchill 3 or Tiger and stuff like that. Nothing really too interesting, but it's fairly easy either way. Maybe the missions will be harder once the further days get there, but we are all on day 4, so we don't know. Everything has been simple, stupid, easy so far. You need to do 30 missions out of the 50 days to get the tank, which is obtained on the first mission completed. You also get some small rewards for each mission, like medkits and stuff like that, and bigger rewards when you get more and more missions. Like for example, you get the gun rammer here, something which is pretty cool. If you complete all the 50 missions, you get some kind of paint, it looks like, and yeah, some large consumables. Nothing too interesting. Another option is to buy the tank. When I open the Wargaming Premium shop, I have multiple packages of the T-34 available. They are incredibly expensive. This is like 30 euros or something. It's more expensive than a Centurion. However, when you take a look at the package itself, you can see that you actually get gold for every mission completed. So if you do the 30 missions and you buy the tank, you get 3,000 gold for this, and you also get 3,200 gold, which is default. And whatever, I guess, it's sort of worth it for the 30 euros if you do the missions, but if you're not playing a lot and you only do like 5 missions or something, it's not worth it. It's not worth to buy the tank, I'll just say that outright. Yeah, let's take a look at the stats. Here we are comparing the T-34 shielded against the regular T-34 with the 57mm mounted. The 57mm is the gun everyone plays, but this tank has the 76 mounted. However, the stock 76 on the KV-1 T-34 is shit because it has shit penetration. But this tank sort of fixes it by just having 2 APCR shells. One has 120 and the second has 150mm of penetration, which is more than enough, absolutely more than enough on tier 8, so on tier 5, sorry. So there's nothing real to talk about. However, it still has all the bad accounts. However, it still shares all the same bad specifications that other than penetration, like for example the low DPM. Compared to the T-34 with the 57mm, it only has 1700 DPM, which is 600 lower. That's insane. The T-34 is known for its high DPM, and this just sort of puts it down the drain. Also, the dispersion is terrible at 0.43 compared to the 0.34 on the T-34. However, the stats are a bit better for aiming and stuff. The aiming time is the same. The only difference here really is that if you stop, shoot, and wait, you will be reloaded. You will be aimed in fully by the time you have reloaded, which is not the same for the T-34 with the 57mm, because that fires after like 2 seconds or something like that, whereas this tank takes 3.3 seconds to reload with a great crew. The armor itself, we can't unfortunately see the model here because tanks.gg is broken for tanks released after 0.1. However, it's nothing to talk about really. If you take a look back in the garage, we can see that the model is a bit different compared to the standard T-34. The turret is stock obviously, and the sides, well, you can see some enhanced plates here. The tank also has 50 more hit points. However, the armor is not really worth anything. The armor is pretty much the same as on the T-34. You get some lucky bounces on the front plate here if you're angled well. Sometimes people ding you because they hit this and it just doesn't hit the turret at all, because obviously this is just an added plate. It's the same as on the Panzer IV. T-34H, for example. Nothing to talk about. Only difference is that KV2, when a KV2 hits you in the side, T-34 is gonna die in one shot, but the KV2 will just hit you for 480 on this tank because it's not going to penetrate, but it doesn't really matter. The tank has pretty much the same survivability. The only difference is the Vor's mobility and Vor's gun. Let's take a look at the game. There we go, game starting. T-34-3 shielded. Nothing really too amazing about this tank. I'm just trying to lock into it, fuck. Okay, there we go. This tank looks good, it looks cool. It's a cool historical model. Nothing really interesting to talk about here, it's just cool. It's a bit, you know, broader than the T-34 and it's nice to look at when you're sitting still or something. I'm going to be slightly AFK here, so let's just post it because I was releasing the Centurion video there. Okay, Paris. Yeah. We are just playing here, good matchmaking, only 5 tier 6s, and the penetration is going to be more than enough in this kind of game, because 120mm enough for the side of an OI. And this exactly is a shot that would that we benefit from the higher alpha damage, that is like 25 or 35 higher than on the T-34 with a 57mm mounted, because we just got one shot into the tank there. Sniping cupolas, nothing really interesting. The accuracy is really shit at this kind of range, even at this kind of range, which is like 100-200 meters, which really, you know, it hampers the ability to do damage, and you can't really go to close range because you don't have the armor, contrary to what the name would lead you to believe. This tank is not very interesting, even though, you know, it's just nothing. It's not an interesting playstyle. I just don't have much to say about this tank, to be honest. The T-34 used to be a really good tank, and it's a really cool playstyle where you have, with a good crew, 2,500 DPM, and you just go and you shoot and you shoot and you shoot. It's like a Cromwell except slower. But this tank, it's not, you know, fast enough because it's slower than the standard T-43. It's T-34, sorry. It's the gun is not that good. I mean, at this range it's okay because, you know, I can put many shells into the Thunderbolt until he reloads, while also being able to have the alpha to trade with some tanks. You know, being able to hit the KV1 for like 100 damage, even though he would hit me if he would trade 1 for 1 pretty much, unless he has a derp gun, of course. So for peaking, the alpha is good, it's better definitely, but it's also not a trading medium, you know. If you want a trading medium, pick something which is 150 alpha or 200 alpha, and just, you know, this tank doesn't have the DPM, it doesn't have the alpha, it doesn't have anything going for it, really. It's just sort of, it tries to do things in all, I'm not sure how I hit this shot. It tries to do many things at once, and it just sort of fails short on all of them. So, you know, to wrap up a bit, I guess I'm going to say that this tank is not really worth your time. If you will be playing the game regardless for the 30 days up to the 50, then sure, you know, do the mission, but you're going to do it anyway, probably, unless the missions get harder or something. But in terms of buying the package, I don't think it's worth it. The package is only worth buying if you are confident you're gonna do 30-40 missions or something like that, and you will get the extra gold for it, which I believe provides pretty good value for a dollar spent. But overall, I don't know, this tank is just nothing interesting. I'm sorry, but sometimes you have to be critical, I guess, and it's just sort of hard to be critical here, because the tank is not bad, it's just not good. It's not even okay, it's just meh. Meh is how I would describe it. You can see, yeah, good agile ninja style here, my own art hitting me there. Brilliant, love it, I love this game. Fortunately my friend saved me there, but yeah. The only thing that's left in the game now is the arty. With my buddy we got 3 kills each, so unless I get killed by the arty, we're gonna have Bardus in arms. But other than that, the game is not really interesting, and I wanted to play more to get like Ace Mastery badge. This is just the first class, I'm gonna admit, but it's just like not worth it, you know. I did not have good time playing this tank, I did not have good time grinding this tank to get a Mastery badge. It's not like, I don't know, it's not worth it in my opinion. But it rams well. It rams hard as well. Let's take a look at the stats. And here we have the stats. First class, like I mentioned, not enough for a mastery apparently. Brothers in arms, obviously we got some damage and stuff. 1351 damage, and we have 1130 experience, which is quite a lot considering I didn't even like spot anything or do anything really. And my buddy in the KV1 got 30 more XP for like half more damage, so I don't know how that happens. However, I think I was like 100 XP away, like 2 shots away from a mastery badge, so it's close enough. However, this tank in tier 7, for example, sucks ass, like most tier 5s. It doesn't have the mobility, and the penetration is okay, but you don't really have the time to aim at people with the bad aiming time, and fairly bad gun handling and stuff like that. You can't snipe at all. I would rather pick the T-34 out of over this tank pretty much every time, and if I had a choice I would pick something entirely different because I don't think the T-34, either of the T-44s are very good. That's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a bit longer than usual, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like, and maybe even subscribe if you enjoy and you would like to watch more. Thank you, and have a good one.